Now today we're going to be making some amazing chicken stir fry with sushi. Now I'll be honest with you, I used to hate sushi. It's like, Mama, either you love it or you hate it. But my wife said to me, MJ, you need to try sushi. It's wonderful like me. So hey, if my wife says it, I've got to try it. And I'll be honest with you, as soon as I tried it, mwah, absolutely amazing. So what we're going to need for the stir fry is egg noodles, diced chicken. Now you can get your butcher to dice it or dice it yourself. Broccoli, mushrooms, carrots, bell peppers, and onions. But the thing is, you can put in any vegetables that you've got in the kitchen. Me, personally, I love these veggies. So let's get off first and foremost by marinating this wonderful diced chicken. So first thing we do, get a knife, get some lemon, pour the juice all over it. Look at that. Get it in there. Again, you can add the juice to taste, like a bit of lemon in mine. Then we get some garlic, crush it in. Here we go. All the way in. Get it in there. You got to use a bit of strength. It's a good thing I go to the gym. Some would disagree, but hey, proof is in the pudding. There we go. Get a bit of soy sauce, put a trickle in, and a bit more. Now, remember, soy sauce can be a bit salty, so vary it because we're going to put some salt in now. There we go. And just a little bit more. Get the all-important olive oil, put it in, very nice. And some pepper, again, add it to taste. I like a bit of pepper in my food, gives it a bit of a kick. Sometimes I need a bit of a kick. Make sure you get it in everywhere. Wow, I'll be honest with you, you can smell the aroma right now. And I just can't wait till iftar time. If it's smelling this good, I can only imagine how good it's going to be tasting. Okay, so now we've got the seasoning, all the mixture in there. We have to let it marinate. Now the important thing is that the longer you let it marinate, the more the flavor is going to get into the meat as well. So you can leave it for a few hours, you can leave it overnight, whatever you like. Okay, so now that we put the chicken in to marinate, let's make the sushi. So let's get all the ingredients over here. And for this, what we're going to need is some sushi sheets, okay, some special sushi rice now, and obviously some avocados, some pepper, and some salmon as well. So for this, what we need to do is we need to put the rice onto the sheet. You can use your hands or you can use a spoon. I'm obviously going to use my hands. Now it's important that to make sure that the rice is sticky. You do actually get special sushi rice from any of the Oriental shops. Alternatively, you can use normal rice as well, but make sure there's a lot more water in there as well, just to make sure it's nice, mushy and sticky. And you'll understand when you start putting it together why it's actually important to have that on. Okay, so we layer it all nicely all the way to the ends. And don't be scared to get it all in there. There we go. And spread that around. Your fingers are going to get really sticky, trust me. Okay, so now that we've got that in there, first one, we're actually going to make two types of sushi. We're going to make one with salmon and one with vegetarian for those that don't like fish. So let's do the salmon one first. Let's get some avocados. Layer them nicely all along. There we go, and some salmon. Now I'm actually using smoked salmon to give it a nice smoky flavor. There we go. So one more layer. Now we come to the fun bit where we have to tuck and roll. So we grab it from one end and we tuck it in. Roll and squeeze it all together. There we go. Now I've also got some water here, which we're going to use to seal the edge. Just put it right on the edge. There we go. And there we have sushi. Tuck it in from the sides. So what we're going to do then is cut a little bit off the end. Make sure you use a nice sharp knife and cut it into whatever sizes you want. And there we have our sushi. So now that we've done the salmon one, let's do the vegetarian one. Get another sheet of sushi sheets, which is also called sushi nori. Bet that's something you didn't know. Again, get some rice. Now, you must be asking yourself, what are these sheets made of? Well, I don't know whether you know or not, it is actually made of seaweed. Yeah, believe it or not, seaweed. Trust me, when I first found out, I was shocked. And I knew there was a reason I hated them. But when I tasted them, I absolutely loved it. Seaweed is actually really good for you. A lot of good benefits for seaweed. And the other good thing about making sushi at home is that you save yourself a ton of money. Now, all of these chains, I don't know, they're probably going to hate me, they're going to sue me. I don't care. I'm going to tell you all of this. You go out to any restaurant that serves authentic sushi, and I guarantee you'll be paying what, about £7-8 for about 4 of these. And all of this you can make at home, all yourself, and have wonderful fun doing it. Hey, even get your kids involved. Okay, so we've got this in there, and trust me, they're going to love this sticky stuff for your kids. Okay, so let's get some peppers in there. Again, layer them out nicely. Get some nice red ones. There we go. And some yellow ones. And the best thing is you can pretty much put anything you want in this. There we go. And once again, we tuck and we roll and squeeze. Bit of water on the ends just to seal it all in. So now that we've made the sushi, both the salmon and the vegetarian one, let's move on to the stir fry. Now the secret to a good stir fry, and this is between us, is that all of the ingredients, all of the vegetables have to have exactly the same texture, whether it's your broccoli, mushrooms, carrots, peppers or onions. So the first thing we're going to do is get some olive oil and pour it into the pan. Let's get the broccoli. Now we can add a little bit of salt in there as well. You don't need to add the salt to all the vegetables, just to the broccoli. It gives it a nice little kick. Got to be honest with you, my son Ibrahim absolutely loves broccoli. He's a good kid. If it was up to me, I'd choose chocolate any day over broccoli, but hey, I'm not him. He's a clever kid. Okay, cool. And let's put it into a separate bowl. And pour a bit more, sprinkle a bit more olive oil inside. And let's get the mushrooms. So with the vegetables, it's important, yeah? I actually like to fry them all separately and put them all into a bowl together because each vegetable requires a different amount of time to actually fry. So with the broccoli, it's roughly about 3 minutes, and also with the mushrooms as well. The secret telltale sign of mushrooms is they start to shrink. That's when you know when they're ready. Now again, you don't have to use mushrooms if you don't like mushrooms. Me, I love mushrooms. And we can see that they're actually starting to shrink now as well. Perfect. They're absolutely ready to go back in to the bowl. And let's sprinkle a bit more olive oil in. There we go. And we're going to get the carrots and the bell peppers together. You can put them both in at the same time. The one thing I do love about stir fry is the wonderful array of colours that you can actually add in there with a variety of vegetables that are available to us. And we can just see here in this pan, just the oranges, the reds and the greens. Absolutely fantastic. So we can see that the carrots and the bell peppers are actually getting a bit soft. So not too much longer now, a few more seconds and we can actually be done with these. But before what we are going to do is put some onions in there. So let's get the onions and we can put them in there. Onions don't really need that long to do. And plus it'll add a really nice flavor to it as well. Oh, I can't wait to dig into this. Here we go, it's all ready. Okay, cool. So now that we've actually done the vegetables, we're going to do the chicken. So again, sprinkle some olive oil in there. And let's get our nicely marinated chicken. This. Oh, this is smelling amazing. Trust me, iftar time is going to be fantastic. And let's get this wonderful marinated chicken in there. Again, medium to high heat. The great thing is that you don't actually need to use chicken. You can use beef, you can use lamb, you can use prawn. And if you're a vegetarian, then hey, you can just use vegetables. Now, you don't actually need a wok to make stir fry. You know, any big pot, patila, pan, anything could do. You know, so you don't need to go out there rushing out to Tesco's, Asda, or wherever it is, you know, to buy yourself one of these. Any pot, any pan can do. And you can see all of the juices from the chicken, the lemon, everything coming out nicely. Keep the heat nice and up and let all this water boil away. So a lot of that water is actually boiled away now because it's in a nice high heat. Not long to go. Then we can put this in the bowl with the vegetables and then we can get started on the egg noodles. Oh, I really cannot wait. And do you know what, guys? If you do try these recipes, you know, email us, text us on Twitter, you know, on Facebook. Let us know what you thought of this recipe, how easy it was to make, you know, what your family thought of it as well. And send us loads and loads of pictures as well, videos, whatever you like. We'd love to hear how these recipes are turning out for you and your experience with these recipes. Okay, now the chicken is done. We'll put it into the bowl. There we go. And now we can get started with the egg noodles. So now we're going to do the egg noodles, okay? Now the secret or the shortcut to doing egg noodles is boiling the kettle. Let it boil nicely so that we can get the hot water and boil it. Now the other thing is that with the egg noodles, you don't need to boil them, overcook them because they will get ruined. And your whole entire stir fry isn't going to taste as tasty as it could have been, okay? So we'll get the pots and the pans. Let's put this in. And also let's get a bit of salt and add this in because the noodles on their own don't actually taste of anything. And later on, once the noodles have actually been boiled, we're going to add some nice sauce, which I'll show you later on. Okay, so the water's boiled. And as soon as you put the water in, you're going to see that the noodles are going soft. There we go. And we can put this straight away on the stove. Okay, so it's ready now. Let's strain it. So now that we've actually got the noodles boiled, we're going to do something a little bit strange, and I bet you've never seen this, yeah? Scissors and tongs. We're actually going to cut the noodles. Now, the reason that we cut the noodles, number of reasons, is because A, they're very, very long. You're not going to get this on the end of your fork, trust me. And a trick I bet that you didn't know is that a lot of restaurants actually do this as well. A friend of mine went to China and discovered this as well. Okay, so keep cutting until everything is virtually the same sort of length. That's what we're aiming to get. Not exactly like a haircut, but quite similar. And don't come to me for a haircut. Cool. So now that that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to add a bit of olive oil. Now the olive oil actually helps the noodles from sticking together. Just a dash. Okay. And let's toss it up. We'll add a little bit more. So as I mentioned earlier, the noodles don't really taste much of anything, to be honest with you. That's why we added some salt. So what we are going to do is we're going to add some soy sauce and some soy sauce with chili. So let's put a dash of that in to give it some nice flavor, just a little bit more. Look at that, that's looking good. And this one, I actually love this, right? This is actually soy sauce with a hint of chili. And again, you can add it to flavor. Some of you all like chili, some of you don't. And let's mix it up. And the great thing is by adding the olive oil, you're going to get the soy sauce everywhere. Because the noodles aren't going to be sticky. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring it all together and get the proper stir fry. But before we do that, I just want to talk about this hoisin sauce. Now, there's actually 3 options that you've got in front of you, okay, to use the sauces. The first option is to make your own sauce, which I've done, and the recipe for this sauce is available on the website. The other option is that you can actually use soy sauce and oyster sauce together. Now, because I'm making chicken stir fry, I don't want to use that because it's a bit too fishy. The third option, to be honest with you, is probably the easier option, and a lot of people tend to do it, is buy any stir fry packet from any of the supermarkets, throw it in, voila, it is done. So with that said, what we're going to do is bring it all together now, and let's get back to the wok. Okay, so first thing we do is we put a layer of noodles in. Perfect. Then we put a bit of vegetables and chicken. Okay, and let's turn on the heat. Now make sure the heat is on low because we don't want it to burn. And what we do is get some of this wonderful, wonderful hoisin sauce. Put a bit on top. There we have it. Easy to make, quickly done. We have some amazing chicken stir fry with some fantastic sushi as well. Now, there's no harm and no shame, believe me, in using a fork, okay? You can use a chopstick if you like, go for it. But let's get stuck in. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And with the sushi as well, you got some nice soy sauce and ginger. Here we go. You can just taste all the flavors. It's amazing. But don't forget, check out the recipe on our website. Email us, tweet your pictures, and we'll see you soon. A friend of mine went to China and discovered this as well. The other aspect that I bet you didn't know is that my director told me to do it, and if I didn't, she's going to cut me. So here we have it, nice and easy, chicken stir fry with some amazing sushi as well. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, let's get stuck in.
That's not going.
You don't want to do that. No.
Welcome to NJ's Kitchen.